Hi, this is Richard Chamberlain. Welcome back to the Protecting Your Family's Future podcast. This is episode number 125. And in today's episode, we're going to revisit the Corporate Transparency Act. Now, about 4 weeks ago, I did an episode that covered the Corporate Transparency Act and talked about what it is and what it requires business owners to do, essentially requiring all business owners to report their beneficial ownership information to the federal government. Now, that had a deadline, a compliance deadline for businesses that were formed prior to January 1 of 2024. They had to have their information in by the end of this year. So before January 1 of 2025. So, as I said, that was about 4 weeks ago. Of course, soon after I did that episode, in fact, on December 3rd of this year, a federal district court in Texas issued a preliminary injunction against the government enforcing the provisions of that Corporate Transparency Act. And that enforcement or that ban, that injunction, was applied nationwide. So even though that was from a court in Texas, at the moment, the government is not allowed to enforce the reporting requirements of the Corporate Transparency Act. So if you have not yet filed your beneficial ownership information with FinCEN, the Federal Crimes Enforcement Network, you don't need to do that right now because of that preliminary injunction. But I don't want you to think that you never need to do it. There is a possibility that the preliminary injunction can be lifted if the court finds that the act is not unconstitutional, as the plaintiff in that case claimed. So if that happens, then you will have to report your beneficial ownership information. If the law is held to be unconstitutional or it is ultimately repealed, then you won't. So you might wait and see and determine if you will ever need to file, or you can go ahead and file now if you know what you need to do, or you're already working on filing. You might want to go ahead and do it now. If you wait to see if you will ever have to file, then you're going to have to make sure that you're staying aware of what is happening in that case, making sure that you're getting information from the right sources about the status of that law and the status of the injunction against the enforcement. So just be aware that if you wait, it's going to be your responsibility to make sure that you know when things change, if things change. So that's where things stand for now. You don't need to file by the deadline that was in the law, and that may change or it may not change. So I will try to keep people updated as things happen, but you'll need to keep an eye on this as well. So I hope that's helpful for you today, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks.